not every neighborhood has the value that you would expect, and it all really just depends on what you're looking for. Today, I'm going to talk to you about several suburbs that you might want to rethink and some alternatives to where you could go if you love that suburb, but you're looking for something that it doesn't quite offer. Hey there, I'm Natasha Tessier. I'm the owner of Dwell Realty and Design, born and raised in the city of Houston. I help people like you every single day relocate to the great city of Houston, specifically the suburbs. I am wearing my new master's hat. This is from one of my clients. So if you know me, I wear my hats a lot. I love them. But anyway, let's get started with this. So the first neighborhood we're going to talk about is the Woodlands. Of course, it is always rated number 1, number 2, number 3 over and over, but it does have some negative to it that people are finding and wanting to move away from. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is that the average price point in the Woodlands is $580,000. That's 66% higher than your median home price in the state of Texas. So it's expensive for what you get. The second thing is there's not really any new construction in the Woodlands. The only change to that is if you're going to tear something down and build a nice custom home, which will cost a fortune, or there are a few lots left in some of the more luxury neighborhoods, but really not much. So the issue is that if you want a new home and you want all the latest and greatest with insulation and double pane windows and all the radiant barrier in the attics and all the things that make a home really energy efficient, you're not going to really find that in the Woodlands unless somebody's gone in and remodeled it and done all that. So that is a frustration for a lot of people. They're close to town, they love the walkability or the amenities, but they can't get a home that isn't dated on the inside. The other issue that some people come across is there is luxury on the East Shore. That's kind of the newer section. It is gorgeous, but you know, it'll be up to $1 million, $2 million. Great place to live if you're looking. I have clients that love it there, but again, it's very expensive. If you're looking under 500, there's not a lot to choose from in the Woodlands. So that's just something to be aware of. That is kind of frustrating. It's not a lot of bang for your buck to live in the Woodlands. Another complaint that I hear from some clients is that the schools are absolutely huge. Now they're mostly all A-rated in the heart of the Woodlands. They're very good schools. The kids score very, very well, but they're big. So you're looking at the Woodlands High School, you're talking about 4,400 kids in a high school. They have their own freshman campus because it's too big to have freshmen with the rest of the high school. So a lot of people don't like that size. Their kids get lost. They have a hard time, even if they're great athletes or whatever, making the team or starting until they're seniors because there's 20 kids ahead of them. So that's another frustration. So let's talk about the alternative to the Woodlands. And I'm gonna go with Montgomery. So if you know Wood Forest, which most of you who are looking at master plan communities will know Wood Forest by now. Wood Forest is often known as the little mini Woodlands because so many people came from the Woodlands, got tired of their 1980, 1990 house, built new construction. They've got all shops and amenities right there. They are pretty close proximity to the Woodlands, maybe 20 minutes, but they don't feel as congested with all the traffic. They have more space. There's definitely larger lots out in Montgomery. So if you're looking like I live on 2 acres or an acre, that's really hard to come by in the Woodlands because it's kind of packed in there. You can get a 1/4 of an acre or 1/2 an acre if you want to pay for it. But just to have a larger lot, have space, have land, but also be in close proximity to the Woodlands, people love. And they're also closer to the lake. So you're 5-10 minutes from Lake Conroe. So if you love the boating life all summer and spring and fall, then being in Montgomery might be a better alternative to the Woodlands. So also in Montgomery, the median home price is $420 instead of $580. So again, you're getting a lot newer and better bang for your buck. As far as high schools, you're talking about half the size. I think Lake Creek right now, which is the south side of Montgomery, has around 1,800, 2,000 kids. So 500 in a class versus 1,100 in a class. A lot of people like that it's big 5A. So it's 5A, whereas the Woodlands is 6A. So just a smaller schools, smaller town vibe. So you've got your farmers market at the KOA. You've got downtown Montgomery, which is very charming, has the Montgomery County Wine Festival and the Montgomery County Rodeo and all those things. So very different vibe than the Woodlands. Now you're not gonna have luxury restaurants on the water and you're not gonna have your Nordstroms and your Tommy Bahamas and your Coach stores right here. You're going to have more of a country town feel with access to that. So that's one of the big differences in the Woodlands versus Montgomery. So a second alternative to the Woodlands is going to be Willis. So most of you have heard me talk about Woodland Hills. Fantastic neighborhood, okay? So you're only 10 or 15 minutes from the Woodlands, but again, quieter pace, great neighborhood. The schools still have some growing and some updating to do, so I think they will get better over time. But if you're not gonna be able to go to Montgomery, you might wanna look at Willis, especially just depending on commute and traffic and where you're working. Willis could be a great alternative to Montgomery. If you are interested in working together and me helping you relocate, please fill out the form below. I would love to get to know you. We will get your form and get in touch with you and see how we can best serve you. So let's move on to number 2, and that is going to be Katy. So Katy is massive. It's on I-10. It's very congested. There are a ton of people living there. It's kind of crazy. I opened one of those junior highs many, many years ago. I think now there's 12 or 13 high schools. They too are 6A, so you've got 4,000-ish in a high school. One thing people don't love is there's no trees, and things are very packed in and congested. So not a lot of acreage communities. And then as far as shopping and stuff, you have Katy Mills Mall, which is just a tiny little mall. You've got Bass Pro Shops, but nothing luxury like you're gonna have on the Woodlands side. You do have the shopping center in Cinco Ranch, which has a few nice restaurants, and it's kind of an outdoor mall, but it's nothing quite like Market Street and the Waterway in the Woodlands. So a lot of people don't like that, and they don't like that there are no trees, like I said. So in Katy, your median home price is $334. It is affordable, but again, it's kind of flat, it's congested. You do have some flooding. So parts of Cinco Ranch were flooding pretty bad. So Katy is old farmlands that are pretty flat. And so it doesn't have the terrain, the trees and everything that you're gonna have out in Northwest Houston. So what's our alternative to Katy? And that's gonna be Fulshear, Texas. My sister lives out there. She lives on acreage. It's a great place. You've got the small town feel of Fulshear, although it is growing like crazy. Right now, there's just a few high schools in Fulshear. I think the full district has 7, which is still big. It just moved up to 6A, so they are getting more students, but they're gonna get a small town square, and they're trying to keep it kind of that small town feel. And you can still get lots on an acre, back up to water, all that stuff. And it's gonna be a little bit more affordable than you're gonna be as far as land goes in Katy. So an acre in Katy with a nice house is gonna be a lot more expensive than it is gonna be in Fulshear. Also, Fulshear offers a lot of master plan communities going out there, and people are loving it. Cross Creek Ranch and different areas that are developing like crazy out in Fulshear. So you still have that idea of master plan communities, but newer homes that are gonna be more affordable and a little bit quieter life, although I will warn you, it's growing so fast. I don't know how long Fulshear will be quiet. Our next one to be cautious or to second guess is gonna be Tomball. Now this is a hard one. I've lived in Tomball. The one thing I love about it is it's super convenient. It's on 99 and 249, but with that comes traffic and crime. So it is in Harris County, and that would be the bigger reason for somebody to go to the alternative that I'll get to in a minute. It is in Harris County. The politics are way different in Harris County. They're very liberally run. So when our cars and garage and everything got broken into in Harris County, we lived in Tomball in a luxury neighborhood. We found the guy, and when I gave all the information to the police officer, he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't do anything about that. It's $10 for him to get out of jail." Now that was 4 years ago. I don't know if those repercussions on criminals is still very low, but there's definitely going to be more crime, more city, more congestion in Tomball than our alternative. Now, what people do like about it is it's only 2 high schools. They did move up to 6A as well, so they're getting bigger. Tomball is about to build their 3rd high school out by their new stadium, so a lot of people are very excited about that. But it's kind of got that smaller town feel, but it can be congested. People love it though because you can get into the city very quickly from there. So not a bad location, but the bigger issue is just the congestion and the crime. So the other thing that people love in Tomball, which is pretty unique to the area is the main street where you've got your farmers market and you've got your German festival 2 times a year, lots of small town charm, but it can be hit or miss in the neighborhood. So you can have a nice neighborhood next to a not so nice neighborhood, and it's very spread out. So lots of positives in the Tomball, but if I didn't want to be in Harris County, I would go to my alternative, which would be Magnolia, Texas, right up the street. The biggest difference in the two is going to be that all of Magnolia is in Montgomery County versus Harris County, which is most of Tomball. So if you're looking for conservative politics, but that small town, they have a lot of similarities. They're both 6A. They both have 2 high schools. Tomball has the main street, although Magnolia, there was just an article in the paper where they're talking about a huge Magnolia Square with shops and a waterway and all these things. So that will change Magnolia if that happens. But that's the biggest reason. Both of them have pretty good rated schools, A's and B's. I will say that in Tomball, you can get more bang for your buck because we have all these new neighborhoods going in. So I spoke about these on my last video. You've got Colton, you've got Creston, you've got Audubon, you've got Escondido, all these great neighborhoods that are very affordable in the Magnolia area. So if you're looking for new construction in Montgomery County, just a little bit further out from Tomball, that's probably where I'd go. You still have easy access to 249, so you're not super far out, especially a lot of those have quick access to the freeway, but it has a little bit smaller feel, although I have a feeling it's about to blow up as well, like Fulshire. So all these alternatives are gonna get busier and busier. We may have to keep going further out for that small town feel. I will say that with the affordable new construction, the average is around 360, and you can get a really nice house in Magnolia for 400, 450, very, very nice. So for my last place to avoid or be cautious when purchasing is going to be Cypress. Now I sell in all these communities. I sell in the Woodlands all the time. People love it. I sell in Tomball. I sell in Cypress. So don't let that deter you. I'm just trying to give you other options. If there are parts of it that you don't love, there might be a better alternative for you. So Cypress, huge school district, 12 or 13 high schools. Not a lot of trees again. Now there is a Fairfield section of Cypress as you head more towards Tomball that does have trees, but like Bridgeland, Town Lake, all those, no trees. It is convenient, but it can get congested. It does have master plan communities like Bridgeland. The north side of 99, the new Bridgeland, is going to be all zoned to Waller and go to the schools that are being developed out that way. And I will get to that when I talk about the alternative option. Also, it's spread out and your schools can vary. You can be in a C or D area, and then you can drive 3 miles and be in an A-rated area. So you have to be cautious with the large school district, what schools you're zoned to and what their rating is, because it's very, very different as you go through the neighborhoods. Crime can also vary. You can get on a crime map and see certain areas can be more crime-ridden than others. So it's a big city in and of itself. I think I read that there were 110,000 kids a few years ago just in the school district. So it's a very big city in and of itself. So where would I go instead of Cypress? I'm gonna tell you I'd go out to Hockley. Oh my gosh, so much growth happening out there. If you're not familiar with Jubilee and Grand Prairie, I have several clients buying in there. Jubilee is gonna be a Johnson development that developed Wood Forest. They are expecting huge, great things for that neighborhood. I have sold several in that neighborhood. And then also in Grand Prairie, I've sold several. It's a little bit more affordable, kind of a sister neighborhood, both with easy access to 290. And the other good thing about Hockley and that whole area is it's only 10 minutes further from Cypress. So as I was saying earlier, the north side of Bridgeland on 99, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. So you can get a really, really nice house for $450,000. So just keep that in mind. There's a new elementary school in there, and I believe a new junior high is going in there, and our new Cypress Christian is building a brand new facility there for a second private school. So if you're into private school, that would be a great spot. A lot of my friends are at the other Cypress Christian and they absolutely love it. Just a side note. But as you go out to Hockley to Jubilee, there's going to be a high school in there. There's going to be a junior high. There's going to be an elementary, and all those kids will go to the same school. So the North Bridgeland and Jubilee will all be in the same high school eventually. I think it's 2027, so 2 years they're slated to open. So you're still getting the same schools, and they're going to end up being rated well after all the people move in and they get everything within the neighborhoods. Right now, it's still a rural school district. It's not rated that great, but it'll grow and change as it goes. So in 5 years, I would say that all those schools in there are probably going to have A and B ratings, all the new high school, the new junior high, all those things. So you've got good schools. It's affordable because it's a good time to get in because you can get equity before it kind of blows up out there. So I see Hockley being a great place. Many of the places that I said to be cautious are also great places to live, as I said. So it just depends on what is the best fit for you. Do you need to live close to work? Do you need to be 15 minutes closer to town? Do you just want new construction and you're working from home and you'd rather have new construction so your house feels brand new? There's so many different ways to do this. It is important to find an agent that can walk you through this process, and I would love to be the one to help you. Again, fill out our form below. We will be in touch, and I hope you have a blessed day.